Best case management investment is this one at $35 a month. It has a sales pipeline, which is like Salesforce for lawyers, but it isn't yet approved as a trust accounting vendor by the Law Society. Compare that to this one, which is great at trust accounting and generating reports. So this software allows you to build online forms without knowing how to code, obviously. So instead of hiring a developer to build something and put it on your website, you can do it here, and you can put it on your website, and you can also put it in, that you can publish it to a community, they call it, where other people can actually see it, and if they want, they can duplicate it, and you can charge them for that. So like other lawyers could use one of your forms, and they could pay you to use it, which is cool. But so first example is an immigration intake form. So I've added a question, and it says, which country are you currently a citizen of? So we're going to add another question. Because we're just going to build an immigration intake form. So these are all the different types of questions you can add. You can have a client sign. If it's a retainer agreement, you can actually have them pay, but we're going to add a question. So this is our second question. We're asking, are you planning to stay in Canada permanently or temporarily? So that we know what kind of immigration path we need to assess them for. And now you get options on how you want the client to answer. So they can answer, just type out their answer, or what we chose here is they're going to have check boxes and they have to tick one of them. So they have to tick permanent or temporary. So here, that's how you would send that data to Clio if you were in the US. And now what I'm doing here is adding a note to the question. So they'll see the question, and then they'll also see my little note. If you come on a temporary basis, you may still have the opportunity to apply to stay in Canada permanently. So point is, you can add notes to questions to help the client understand what the question means. Okay, so we're going to payment question. So we're going to ask them to pay the initial assessment fee, and they can pay either with Stripe, which is an online credit card processor. So you'd have to sign up for a Stripe account, which is easy enough. There's no monthly fee. They just charge you per transaction when the client pays. But I mean, it is also going to cut out a lot of time. Like your paralegal's not going to have to send them an invoice. You're not going to have to collect on the invoice. They're going to pay in advance. And that's also obviously going to, especially for immigration as a practice area, it's going to weed out clients that just want to ask you a question, right? Which is a common problem in immigration. Okay, and now we've added a link. So after they've paid, it's going to go to your website. And then we can collapse the questions to see them well organized. So we have 2 questions and then a payment and a link back to our site. So now we're previewing the app. This is what it would look like for the client. Of course, we can't actually pay, but we'll pretend we paid. And then it would take us back to your firm's site. So they do give you a little control over the style of the app. So you can see we just changed the style and it looks slightly different. But now I want to change the style or the color of the bar at the top, called the nav bar, and the button. So I'm going to pick a pink for the nav bar, and then I'm going to change the color of the button, and later I'm going to upload my logo so you can make it look like your firm's app. It should look like that. The clients shouldn't know they're using different software. Okay, so now I have the pink bar at the top and that button, but that button, based on my web design skills, does not look very good. So we are going to upload our own logo now. And I'm also going to change the color of that button because that looked bad. So we'll change it to something bright. Buttons are always better bright. Okay, there, it has my logo. Voila, and it has a nice colored button. So that's what it'll look like for the client. Now that we've created our form, we can publish it. So there's 2 places you can publish it, the community or in our client portal. The most likely place you're going to want to publish it is in the client portal. I mean, if you want it on your website, so that clients, when they go to your website, will fill out your intake form. Then you need to create a client portal, and you need to then publish your app, which is your online form, to your client portal. And I'm going to actually release a video on client portals, but I just want to show you that they do have a client portal, and that's what you need to do if you want this form on your website. Now, you should also know that the term client portal is not specific to this software provider. It's a very common term that a lot of different software providers have. So there's case management systems that have client portals. There's document automation systems that have client portals. Like, a lot of software providers have client portals. All that means is that a client can log in on your website and access forms in this case, or in another case, they could log into the client portal and sign documents if you're talking about a software that helps close deals and helps get signatures from clients.